What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time for another installment of my top 10 anime and manga as of 2015. Number 6, Toriko. I'm not even sure where to begin with Toriko. I mean, there's so much stuff in this series. I guess I can start with the one thing that's always consistently great, and that's the world building. The world building in Toriko rivals that of One Piece, the world building that Ichiro Oda does for One Piece. I mean, the ecosystems, the science, the little like intricate things that are going on, the creatures. It's always so interesting. It always has depth. It's always fun to see the characters explore these areas and the creatures. I mean, a lot of creatures are designed by fans, and he'll redraw them in his own art style. So I can't really give Mitsutoshi credit for those character designs or those creature designs, but they're still a part of the Toriko series. So I gotta give them credit. I mean, they're part of Toriko, so what the fuck? So yeah. Of course I'm going to give them credit, and they are a bunch of unique creatures. And it is an interesting way of... How do I want to say it? It's a very interesting way of, instead of just coming up with your own, you have fans do it. A lot of fans of Shonen Jump are kids. Kids have crazy imaginations. It leads to a lot of really cool creature design. So I actually really like that aspect of the series. The fighting, it's badass. It always looks great, it always looks epic, it always looks violent. I mean, not so much in the anime, but even then I think the anime still handles most of the fights pretty well, despite the gore and the blood. But honestly, the fighting, it never looks messy, which you kind of expect. It might look messy with all the detail, maybe a couple panels are a little bit iffy, because it's like, I gotta draw these abs and these arms and these detail faces every single panel. You think they might get messy after a while, but they really don't. And of course, he has editors to help him, but the fighting always looks really action-packed, and it's always well depicted, and you can pretty much tell what's going on. There's one fight with Toriko where his opponent has a bunch of long hair, and there's a bunch of blood, so there's a bunch of bloodlines, and then you gotta draw the abs and the fucking all that stuff, and then plus all his long hair, and it's kind of like, wait a minute, where's the punches going right now? Like, it gets a little bit convoluted on the panels, but for the most part, that doesn't happen, and even then, I can figure it out. So, yeah, the artwork is very well depicted, very easy to follow. So the manga is great, of course. Of course, I prefer the manga. It has the narration, which, I said shit about the narration in, Hunter x Hunter, but the narration in Toriko really works because recently, it's been narrating over animals. When animals are doing shit, the narrator is telling you what's going on, which is fine because the animals don't talk. And even in other moments, the narrator is usually giving you new information, stuff you don't know, stuff that the characters can't just say. So the narration in Toriko, for the most part, works really, really well. And, yeah, it's kind of like Ippo, how it excels in all the categories it tries to go for. The only real problem is, and the one thing Ippo does definitely have over this series, and again, I try not to mention flaws, but the reason why I haven't talked about characters is because I think the characters are still good. And that's why, the series is still high on my list, is the characters are good. Toriko's a great character. I like him a lot. Komatsu's good. He could have been way worse than he is, and he's a really good character. I like Zebra. I like Coco. Sunny, not so much, but all the main characters, they're good. And they just don't have development at all. So, yeah, but like I said, Ippo excels at everything it tries to do. It tries to do character development. It excels at it. Toriko really doesn't even try to do character development, which a lot of people would see as a flaw, and I can't deny that. It is. It should have character development when it's this long of a series, but yeah, the main cast, they don't develop too much, but they are really likable characters, and yeah, it's the side characters. There's some really likable ones, there's some really fun ones, but a lot of them just don't do it for me. But the fun ones are there, and they're awesome. You got Knocking Master Jiro, you got fucking Ichiru, which probably should have been on my top 10 old guys list instead of Jiro. I don't know, Jiro has, like, the moments. Like, Ichiru's a great character. Like I said, he probably should be there. He can be, like, an honorary, like, number 9 or whatever, but Jiro just kind of had the old guy moments. I just felt, I don't know, because, like, there's other guys on the list that don't have the moments, but they're still there because they're awesome characters, so I don't know. You could switch out those two, honestly. I mean, in my mind, Jiro at that time was just kind of like, yeah, he stopped the planet, he did all this crazy old guy shit. But, Ichiru, fucking phenomenal, love that guy. Midora, great villain, great, I mean, at this point, maybe, like, anti-hero, not really, but just not really, like, the main villain anymore. Still a really good character. He has some development. Not really the main cast for some reason, but the development is there. But yeah, I really, really like Toriko. The creatures, even the cooking can be very interesting. I mean, recently there's been a lot of info dumping and a lot of explaining of stuff, and it gets a little convoluted or a little confusing. But one arc that has that shit going on is not going to stop Toriko from being completely epic and badass, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's just phenomenal. Love Toriko. Would I switch it out with Ippo in the future? Maybe. They're pretty close, but I still prefer the crazy ecosystems and the adventure and the fantasy aspect over Ippo, which is a bit more realistic. So, yeah, I'll still put Toriko above it, but they're pretty close. And now we're done with the bottom 5. Love Toriko, love Ippo, love Hunter x Hunter, love JoJo, and love Seven Deadly Sins. Now we're moving into the top 5. These are the ones that, like, these are the ones that have, like, a place in my heart. Like, these are the ones that'll probably never change. So there's not really going to be any surprises here, but yeah. So we'll move on to number 5 in the next one. But yeah, Toriko, fantastic series. So, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys think of Toriko in the comment section below, and also tell me what your number 6 is on your top 10 anime and manga of all time. Give this video a thumbs up, that would help me out a lot. You can also follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you like what you've seen here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.